Hello everyone, you wonderful people you. I'm doing a video blog today because I pretty much feel like it and I kind of do what I want. And I don't feel like typing. Some things I want to talk about are the convention and the comic and potential fundraising things that are going to go down. So first thing with the convention. I'm really excited, kind of freaking out. It's coming up in a matter of weeks. So I've kind of done a majority of what I can to do to prepare. Like I've, spent time drawing out how I'm gonna set up my table and everything. To anyone who is going, I'm super excited to meet you if I haven't already, or just to say hello. The only downside is, well, there are two downsides. One, I don't know what table I'm going to be at. I haven't been assigned one yet, or I have and no one's told me. I'm probably going to send them an email in a week or so. I just don't want to bombard them when they're, setting everything up. The other thing is that it's taking place on Easter weekend. For those of you who don't celebrate Easter, well, you don't care, whatever, you're good. For those of you who do celebrate Easter, it's kind of a stinker, but hopefully some people will be able to stop by on Friday or Saturday. Whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna have lots of stuff. I ordered a bunch of new shirts and also posters that aren't stocked in the store right now. I know I ordered the little alien shirts in different colors, and I know a lot of people were excited about that. I'm sorry I haven't stocked them in the store. I'm actually not stocking a lot of stuff in the store right now, pretty much in preparation for the convention. It's the second convention I've done. It's the largest convention I've ever been to. It's, probably 3 or 4 times the size of the first one I went to have a table at. I almost sold out of shirts at my first convention, and that was considerably smaller. So I want to make sure that if I do run out, I at least gave it a good shot and had a lot of stuff to sell. So yeah, pretty much a lot of my items right now, a lot of my stock isn't in the store. I'm saving it for at the convention, and if it doesn't sell then I'll put it in the store. So I'm sorry for the wait. If you have any complaints or any issues with that, bring it up with me, message me, email me, whatever, we'll talk it over. But that's pretty much it. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. Unfortunately, I have to run this solo. Last time I had the help of my loving mother and sister, who were fantastic. My sister has awesome selling skills. She is a people person. I'm not so much, but I try. But yeah, I had their help last time, and this time I'm gonna be running my table alone, which is gonna stink. Especially since the voice actor for Korra from Legend of Korra is gonna be there. That makes me sad. I really want to meet her, but there will be more opportunities in the future. But moving along, because there are more things to talk about, and I just keep babbling. The other thing, which also kind of has to do with the convention, is the comic. Yay! So you guys have been seeing me do a lot more streaming of painting and all that good stuff. Pretty much once I finish these character paintings, and consider these sneak peeks when I show these to you guys, because that first page is only a handful of the characters. There are a lot of characters. I'm probably gonna hate myself for having as many characters as I do. But that's only a handful of the characters, and aside from the ones you've seen, you aren't gonna see any of the other ones until they actually appear in the comic. Like, they'll have little, paintings, but they're gonna be blacked out, and you're not gonna be able to see them. Haha. But that's kind of fun. But those paintings, once I'm done with those, then I get to work on pages, and I am so excited. You guys don't even know. One of the things that's going to be a little weird is a lot of people say when you want to make a webcomic, just go for it and dive right in. Thank goodness James is helping me, because I have full faith in him being able to develop the story and bring it together. A lot of elements that I was concerned about in the beginning have already started falling in place, which is fantastic. So the story is headed in the right direction, as is character development and all the main plot points. But we're getting up to the first main plot point in the script right now. So it's still early on, but we've got all the main things figured out, all the main events, all that good stuff ironed out. Just wanted to give a little in-depth explanation of kind of the cool stuff that I get to do. So for anyone who's curious of how the comic will be put together, and I may have explained it a little bit to some people, a lot of webcomics are created digitally. Certainly not all of them. I can't speak for all webcomic artists. But a lot of it is done just strictly digitally, or they'll sketch it out and then scan it in and paint it and make it all cool. A lot of them are also in color. Mine will not be. It's going to be black and white with all the little speckle dot things for shading and all that good stuff. It's actually pretty awesome because if we happen to be successful in this and people want a printed version, I will be able to print it. I will also be able to, if I want to go back and color some stuff, color stuff, because pretty much how it's gonna work is I have this awesome paper. Yay, awesome paper, woohoo! Comic book paper is huge, okay? It's gigantic. It's 11 by 17 inches. And that's to pretty much compensate for all of the different borders, because for comic book paper, or really for any printing jobs, you have to have areas for bleeding and all that stuff. Not physical bleeding like ink I'm talking about. But it just has all the borders and everything, and this is the standard size for if you want to actually take your stuff to print. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all my fancy sketching on here. I'm gonna ink over it, and then I'll go on the computer, take out the sketching. It'll be clean line art, and then I'll be able to do all of the toning on the computer. And then once that's done, then it's a page and I can upload it and it'll go live. But like I said, if I want to go back, the lines will be here. This is some awesome paper, by the way. It's so thick. Industrial strength. It's awesome. But I'll be able to go back to this line art, color it in, digitally or traditionally. And yeah, that's pretty fantastic. I know you guys really don't care about me transferring my artwork to a computer. Maybe some of you do. Very few. But I would like to brag about something. I got a gigantic large format scanner and I'm so excited. Look how awesome this is. Oh my gosh, it's gigantic. Thank goodness I'm not going to drop it. Yeah. So that's the convention, the comic. The last thing is fundraisers, which I talked about in my last video blog. This time, I'm actually going to have to postpone that because recently I joined a committee for a convention that will be happening sometime next year. So they're doing it plenty in advance, but I'm part of a committee for Lolita Fashion, which you guys have probably heard me talk about plenty. I love Lolita Fashion. It's a Japanese street fashion based off the Victorian Rococo style clothing. It's fantastic, and a variety of other things. But it's something that I personally love. But this is a new convention. This will be their first one. And it's really awesome that I actually get to be involved in that. But being part of the Lolita Fashion Committee, this will also be our first attempt to try to have a fashion show, to have a little get-together like a tea party, which would be fantastic to have, and we need to raise funds for that. Seeing as that's kind of, unfortunately, more of a priority time-wise than the animals, which I can still try to put something together for them in the time frame I have. But for right now, my focus is on that. What I'll be doing is, it's the same concept. I'll be making charms inspired by Lolita fashion. They'll probably just be cute little things, probably phone charms. And I'm going to sell them on the site. Other members of the committees are going to sell them. And the funds are going to go so we can actually host events at the convention. For anyone who is curious about the convention, if you are familiar with Tumblr.com, it's actually a convention for Tumblr, which is kind of like a convention for the whole internet, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, it's called TumbleCon 2014, and it's going to be a blast, but right now we're just kind of focused on getting the base solid to prepare for what comes next. So that's actually everything that I have to talk about, and that's it. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, and yeah. Woohoo!